Hello, my dear student. Today we are going to read the text of Unit 5. I'm gonna read the text first and then I'm gonna make a discussion on it. Escape from the Castle of Doom by John Little. The story so far. This story takes place in the past. The evil Duke of Doom lives in Drakensberg Castle. It is at the top of a high, rocky mountain. In chapter 1, the Duke captured Princess Petronilla, the daughter of King James of Lemania. King James sent some people to rescue her. Braveheart, one of the king's most trusted knights, is the leader. His companions are Sterling, Midge, and Sapphire. Sterling is a warrior and carries a sharp sword. He is very brave. Midge is very short, but he is incredibly strong. Sapphire is Princess Petronilla's best friend. She is very clever. In chapter 2, the group reached the castle and climbed to the top of one of its high stone walls. And here in this castle, he gave me some picture for the characters. The first character here is Braveheart, and then Princess Petronilla, and then Sapphire, her friend, Sterling, and Midge, and the King James, and of course the owner of the castle, Duke of Doom. Okay, let's discuss together this part. So from reading this part, we knew that there is an evil person called Duke of Doom. He captured or caught Princess Petronilla, the daughter of King James, and hold her against her will. And then the king, to rescue his daughter, he sent some of people, and the character here are Braveheart, Sapphire, Sterling, and Midge. They are going to save her. Okay? Let's now read the second part, the part that we are going to study today. The story continues. It was cold and dark. The moon was hidden by some low black clouds. The wind whistled around their ears. It began to rain lightly. After they had climbed up the rope to the top of the wall, everyone was out of breath. They stopped and looked around. Likely there was no one on patrol. The guards were not expecting anyone to try anything on a night like this. In the courtyard below, they could see light in the window of the guard's hut. They could hear the guards laughing and joking as they sat in front of a blazing fire. After a while, Braveheart whispered, "Let's go," and pointed down towards a heavy wooden door. Behind this door were the dungeons. The group crept silently down the stone, stepped into the courtyard, and passed the guard's hut. Suddenly, the door opened and light flooded into the courtyard. A guard came out and stood and stretched and yawned. Everyone flattened themselves against the wall in the shade and held their breath. The guard walked towards the main hall opposite. He didn't look back. "Oh, that was close," whispered Sapphire. From reading this part, we will learn that the weather was cold and dark, and there was no light because the clouds hidden the moon, and the wind was so bad that whistled in their ears, right? And there was also rain. So because of this bad weather, none of the guards thought that there will someone come and rescue the princess. So they stopped and looked around. Likely there was no one on patrol, and on duty. No one was guarding the place. The guards they didn't expect anyone. And the light in the window of the guards hot. But they were doing what the guards in this place, they were laughing and joking. And they were sitting around what? The fire. And here he described the fire was blazing. Blazing means brightful. After a while, Braveheart told them or ordered them to follow him. And they were going to the dungeons where they will find the princess. Type. Dungeons, what is the meaning of dungeon? The dungeon is a room in the castle, but they used it as a prison. Okay? Let's see the next part. Here in this part, I'm gonna read it for you. They waited for 2 or 3 minutes and set off again. They had nearly reached the door to the dungeons. They were close to the dungeons when Sterling accidentally, he didn't mean to do that, banged his sword against the stone wall. It clattered noisily. It made a noisy sound. Everyone froze like statues. Okay, they were afraid that anyone will see them, so they stood like statues. Had anyone heard the noise, they waited anxiously, but no one appeared. Cautiously, they carried on and they completed their mission. Finally, they reached the door to the dungeons. Midge lifted the heavy metal ring and turned it. The door cracked loudly. When you move the door, it makes a loud voice. The guard on duty, the person who is responsible for guarding the place, the guard on duty, was sitting at a table eating. He looked with a surprised expression on his face. Midge turned and began to run away. This is our first part. We're gonna meet again and read the second part.